Hey guys, welcome back to ToonBlend 3D. Now we're going to continue the texturing process for the stylized Crocogun using Ucupaint. For this project, I'll be combining generated textures with hand-painted details. Okay, let's get started. First, switch to the Texture Paint workspace, then select one of the meshes. We'll start with the head mesh. Then open the Ucupaint tab, choose the emission workflow and enable alpha. After that, select all the meshes, then press Ctrl+L and choose Link Materials. This way, all the meshes will share the same material and texture setup. Next, add an Ambient Occlusion generated layer. Then switch to Texture Paint mode. Create a new image layer. Then for the texture resolution, I'm using 1024 pixels. Higher resolutions will produce sharper texture details. Before we start painting, set the reference image opacity back to full so we can clearly see the original colors. Now, let's start painting the head mesh. Press Shift+X to sample a color from the reference image. Then fill the entire mesh using the fill brush. Next, switch to Edit mode. Then select the mesh faces that will use a different color. Then go back to Texture Paint mode. Enable Paint Mask so only the faces selected in Edit mode can be painted. Now apply a different color using the color palette. Then, continue the same process for the remaining face groups on the mesh. Then, once the head mesh is finished, repeat the same workflow for the rest of the meshes. Once you've finished applying the base colors, let's add an Edge Detect generated layer. Then change the color blend mode to Dodge. Adjust the radius value to get the edge highlight you want. Next, let's remove the Edge Detect effect from the bright green meshes. Start by adding a mask layer to the Edge Detect layer. Use a solid white mask as the default. Then switch to Edit mode. Select all the faces on the pipe mesh, then fill the mask with black. This way, the long pipe mesh won't be affected by the Edge Detect generated layer. Then, repeat the same process for any similar meshes. Next, add a fake lighting generated layer. add a color ramp modifier. Then adjust the colors to your preference. Then change the color blend mode to multiply. After that, add a hue saturation modifier. Then tweak the values until the result works well as the shadow color for your base texture. Next, duplicate the fake lighting layer. Then reverse the light direction from the previous one. You can use layer preview mode to display only the currently selected texture layer. Finally, adjust the hue saturation value so the duplicated layer looks like light coming from above. Next, add a Voronoi generated layer. Then add a mask to the layer and set it to solid black with full transparency. Then fill the mask with white on the head mesh. Then continue with the Crocogun's back mesh. After that, adjust the Voronoi layer settings. Add a color ramp modifier to convert the layer into black and white. Then change the layer blend mode to overlay. Then set the coordinate type to object. After that, continue adjusting the Voronoi settings until you're happy with the result. Place the Voronoi layer below the edge detect layer. Next, add a mask to the fake lighting layer. Remove its effect from the bright green meshes. Then do the same for the second fake lighting layer. Next, duplicate the Voronoi layer. Then adjust the Voronoi settings again to create a more interesting crocodile skin pattern. After that, duplicate the base color layer, add a hue saturation modifier, then add a gradient mask layer, then set the mask coordinate type to generated. Then change the layer blend mode to subtract. Continue adjusting the hue saturation values until you're satisfied with the gradient. Finally, rename the layer to gradient. Next, let's create the wood texture for the handle. Start by adding a wave-generated layer, then add a mask so the effect only applies to the handle grip. Adjust the wave layer settings until you're happy with the wood grain. Then, rename the layer to handle. Next, duplicate the handle layer. Remove its effects from the handle grip. Then apply it to the handle wrap instead. Adjust the wave layer settings to create a different wood pattern. After that, rename the layer to wrap. Next, add another wave-generated layer. Then set the layer coordinate type to object. After that, set the color channel to soft light. Next, add a mask. Then remove the effect from the areas that already have a wave texture, such as the handle and the handle wrap. Also remove it from the fangs or claws, the crocodile skin, and the bright green meshes. After that, adjust the layer opacity to get the look you want. Finally, continue refining any areas that still need improvement, such as adding a subtle wave texture to the shadowed face areas. Next, duplicate the wave layer, then disable the original wave layer. After that, change the wave source to Voronoi. Then, adjust the settings until it creates a grunge-like texture. Then tweak the layer opacity to match the look you want. Both the grunge layer and the wave layer are optional. The grunge layer gives the mesh a more worn and weathered look. The straight line wave layer gives the Crocogun a cleaner and more solid appearance. You can also enable both layers at the same time if you prefer, so feel free to choose whichever style fits your project. For this tutorial, I'll be using the straight line wave layer. Finally, take some time to inspect the texture and refine anything that still feels off. For example, you can lower the opacity of the handle layer so it blends more naturally with the base color. After that, create a new image layer and name it Paint. This layer will be used to manually paint the flowing field texture on the bright green meshes. Let's start with the long pipe mesh. First, paint over it with a darker green base color. Then paint a bright green line through the center of the pipe. For the bottom area, use a blue color created by adjusting the hue and value of the darker green. If the blue color doesn't appear and still looks dark green, temporarily enable layer preview mode so you can see the true color of the paint layer. Then soften the transitions between the colors by sampling the existing colors and painting along the borders where they meet. After that, adjust the layer order until you get the color combination you're looking for. Next, use brighter colors to paint glowing liquid flowing through the pipe. Create two highlight colors, a yellowish green and a bluish green, both based on the previous bright green color. Here I'm using the Paint Hard brush to create sharp, clean strokes. Start by painting the liquid flow with the yellowish green. Then paint the center of each liquid blob with the bluish green. Finally, switch to the Paint Soft brush and add a soft bluish green glow around the edges of each liquid blob. Once the long pipe is finished, move on to the small pipe. Here, I want the texture on this mesh to stay symmetrical even without using a mirror modifier. To do that, use the Mesh Symmetry tool in the top right corner of the layout. Mesh Symmetry uses the mesh origin as the reference for mirroring. So first, temporarily move the mesh origin to the center of the mesh. Now, any painting you do will be mirrored automatically based on that origin. Then paint the small pipe the same way we did with the long pipe. Once you're done, don't forget to move the small pipe's origin back to its original position and enable the mirror modifier again. Next, continue painting the glowing liquid on the remaining bright green meshes. After that, you can also add a hue saturation modifier to the paint layer if you want to adjust the texture colors. Finally, continue painting the mesh beside the pipe. This one is painted manually because the mesh is angled, so using mesh symmetry wouldn't be as effective. Next, duplicate the paint layer to create reflected light on the meshes surrounding the liquid inside the pipes. Before we continue, if the painting process starts to feel laggy, I recommend temporarily disabling a few layers to improve performance. Now let's start with the back of the Crocogun. Sample colors directly from the existing texture to keep the lighting consistent. This reflection layer is optional, so feel free to use it only if it fits your style or project. Then continue painting the remaining meshes using the same workflow. Once you're done painting, re-enable the layers you want to keep. Then adjust the opacity of the layers we created earlier until everything blends together nicely. After that, go through all the layers one more time and make any final adjustments. Once you're happy with the texture, the next step is baking. Before baking the entire texture stack, it's better to bake the edge detect generated layer first. If you bake everything at once, the process will take much longer. For example, in my case, baking the full texture stack takes almost 48 minutes. Then you'll notice the result looks different from before baking. As you can see, the edge detect effect becomes thicker and more pronounced. So let's try that again by baking the edge detect generated layer first. Start by baking only the edge detect layer. In my case, it takes about 2.5 minutes. The baked result is also much closer to the original generated version, unlike the previous full bake where the edge detect became much thicker and more pronounced. Once that's done, bake all channels using the same resolution as the image layer. As you can see, the baking process is much faster now, taking around 20 minutes. The baked edge detect also stays much closer to the original because it was baked separately beforehand. However, there's still one area where the baked result doesn't look very good. To fix it, go back and find which layer is causing the issue. In this case, the problem comes from the baked edge detect layer. The easiest fix is to mask out the problematic faces in that area. Before baking the entire texture stack again, it's a good idea to inspect all the meshes, especially the ones using the edge detect layer. Once everything looks good, go ahead and bake the entire texture stack one final time. After baking, the same issue appears again on the problematic mesh. This happens because some of the mesh faces are hidden behind or too close to other meshes, causing baking artifacts. So bake the texture again after moving those faces into a clear, unobstructed position. As you can see, the baked result is now clean and free of artifacts. This shows that the position of a mesh face can affect the baking result, especially when using generated lighting textures. With that, the baking process is complete. Next, save the baked texture image. Here I'm saving it as a PNG file. And that's it. The Crocogun texturing process is complete. In the next part, we'll cover how to export the Crocogun to Godot. Thanks for watching from start to finish. Then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to support the channel. And see you next time.